We provide information about sports betting for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm gambling regulations in your state of residence. To participate in sports gaming, you must be 21 years of age or older and be physically present in a state where sports betting is legal. If you or someone you know has a sports betting or gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org for more information and further assistance.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Spread Zone Podcast. My name is Riz. To my left is Action Jackson. To his left, Anthony Stalter. To his left, Tim McKernan. And this is the final time we're talking NCAA men's basketball. Well, at least for 2025. It's here, guys. The finals. Tim, you want to recap how we've done? Because we are going to break down this final game as far as where you should put your money. How did we do for the Final Four?
Well, I got to tell you something. I think there is a coronation in process here, Riz. My brand is to finish last. I continue to stay on brand. I went 2-2. I was on Florida in the under, as we all were. However, I had Duke minus 5.5, and I took the under, which failed to cover by a half a point. Meanwhile, you and Anthony Stalter went 3-1. But the crown belongs to the man who went 7-1 over Sweet 16 weekend and now Final Four weekend. His name is Jackson Burkett, and Little Jackie Papers is now 11-1 since appearing on the Spread Zone podcast. This guy knows hoop rock.
Thank you, fellas. Thank you.
What is your secret to success?
Watching a lot of ball. Watching a lot of ball, not being scared by where some money is being thrown or what narratives are being pushed, knowing the players, knowing the rosters, and understanding pace wins out. And when your team, talking like Florida, talking a team like Houston, their pace benefits them.
Well, we have number 1 Florida versus number 1 Houston. Both teams coming off hard-fought semifinal wins, with Florida beating Auburn and Houston pulling off the stunner, which we watched together, actually.
That's right. We were bonding, watching the collapse of the Blue Devils.
Yeah, they blew it, huh? They were 14 up?
Yes, 14 up with under 10 remaining, and then Houston was able to rally in the final minute for a comeback that will be talked about for decades, and puts Houston up against Florida. I got to be honest with you, I think if Houston and Duke play 10 times, I think Duke wins 8, but credit to Kelvin Sampson's bunch. They're in the position they're in.
Well, it's Florida giving 1.5. The over-under is 141.5. The under is 10-4 in NCAA title games since 2010. Both teams have played grueling semifinal matches, which could lead to slower starts and maybe lower scoring overall. So keep that in your mind. I don't know if that means anything to you three. But we'll take our first break. We'll come back, and then we'll break down tonight's game, Florida-Houston, here on the Spread Zone. All right, welcome back to the Spread Zone podcast, breaking down tonight's NCAA men's finals. Florida Gators, Houston Cougars, Florida given 1.5, over-under 141.5. How are we feeling, Tim? How are we feeling about this game?
Well, both teams now have experienced near-death experiences, and Florida's done it multiple times, as a matter of fact. But I wonder how many people around the country will be betting Houston, feeling like they're the team of destiny after seeing them come back against Duke. But for me, Riz, I've got to stay with the Gators, and I think there's a real edge on it, too. I think they're a bigger favorite than the 1.5. I'm going Florida, and I'm laying the points.
All right, so Anthony, Florida, they beat UConn, they beat Texas Tech, they beat Auburn, all overcoming deficits in every one of those games. Resilience, ability to adapt mid-game. Are you on Florida for this reason?
So I was on Florida at the start of the tournament. No need to jump off, but it's interesting. I know with you guys, I'm sure you were doing it to some respect. So you're looking at the numbers. This is as even of a matchup as you're going to get. I actually just stopped looking at the numbers after a couple of minutes because I'm like, it's so balanced on each side. I mean, you can nitpick certain things. So when I asked myself, I'm like, all right, I got Florida coming in, so I'm not going to shy away from that. But two, one side's got Walter Clayton Jr., the other doesn't. And I hate to simplify it as just like that, but that really is what it comes down to.
He's,
for me.
Mr. Clutch. He's crunch time guy.
He's been incredible. So he's delivered consecutive 30-point performances in the Elite Eight and Final Four, a feat not seen since Larry Bird.
Yeah.
So you're in the same category as Larry Bird. I'm going to take your side, and I'm going to back a Gators team that I have backed all tournament.
Looking at some of the numbers, in the last 60 years, we've had 26 national title games with a spread of 2 points or less. Favorites have won 13, underdogs have won 13. So you're not really seeing much of an edge there. What I will say in terms of the matchup is Houston, if you watch the game against Duke, they're so good on the offensive boards. They love getting second chances for their team. It's outstanding. In their last 3 games, they had 18 offensive rebounds against Duke, 14 offensive boards against Tennessee, 16 against Purdue. It's outstanding. What Florida is, though, third best rebounding team in the nation. If Houston's going all out for these offensive rebounds, what does that mean for Florida? They get to push it in transition. If they don't get it, they are the second best team on fast break points, scoring almost 16 a game in transition points on the season. I think that could play into Florida's hand. One of Houston's strong suits could play into Florida's hand.
Houston has held every tournament opponent to at least 10 points below their season scoring average.
Yeah, the defense is no joke.
The only thing I'd be concerned about and again, I'm backing Florida, but as a Florida backer, the thing that I'm concerned about is the turnovers. Houston can generate turnovers. Florida does not.
Yep.
So you're talking about lack of possessions potentially for Florida, and that's really what cost Duke, I think, in the end. So the turnovers would be an issue. But if Florida plays pretty clean, there's not an offensive style. Florida's offensive style does not match what Houston has just seen in Duke, Tennessee, and Jackson. Remind me who was the other opponent.
Purdue.
Purdue. Thank you. It's very different offensive styles than the one that they're going to see tonight with Florida.
Yeah, definitely.
Is Houston a team that struggles in the first half?
Typically not. I can look at the first half numbers here if you give me a.
But I talked on the last podcast about the second half spread. The underdog, the team losing at half was the team winning at half. I'm sorry, was 25-38, covering second half spreads. That continued with 2 more of them this weekend, where Florida was down at the half, and then Houston was down at the half. So second half all day.
Well, that's the game. That's the game. That's Florida. That's Houston. We'll take a final break here. We'll come back. We'll make our predictions. And I want final scores at everybody here.
Final score's coming.
Final scores coming on the Spread Zone. All right, welcome back to the Spread Zone, talking championship game tonight. NCAA men's basketball, Florida Gators versus Houston Cougars. Florida given 1.5, over under 141.5. Tim McKernan, you're on Florida, you said.
I'm on Florida.
Are we touching the over-under?
I would, and I like the under on this one. I would go Florida 72, Houston 60. Florida 72,
wow.
Houston 60.
That's a blowout.
No, I don't think. I think that there's real equity on the Gators tonight.
Anthony,
I got Florida 65, Houston 61. So Tim, you and I are in lockstep over the under. Yeah. I think that this is a game. It's the total. The number's not great, 141, but I think that both teams are going to play well defensively, and if Houston doesn't hit their threes, I think this one falls under.
I like Florida 74, Houston 71, means the over. I think this is a game where in the first 10 minutes, you're going to be betting the over and being like, oh, man, I've already lost my money. And then by the end of the game, I think that fast break, I think Houston's going to start shooting a lot of threes. I think that number gets up there and just covers the over.
All right, I'm rolling Houston. Ooh, plus 1.5. Defense has been great in the tournament. I think they'll slow down Florida enough to pull off the upset. Final score, I wrote this down, Houston 68, Florida 65.
Wow, a thriller.
The under.
Tim, I hate to put you on the spot, but I know you can handle it.
Thank you.
Do you have the statistics of when we have gone to the island over the last couple of weeks.
You know what? I actually happen to have that.
Because Riz is on the island.
I'm on the island today.
He rode to the island with Houston. I would love to know some numbers when one of us has gone to the island.
Sure, I'd be happy to do it. Since the Sweet 16 podcast, 2 podcasts ago, Anthony, you were on BYU, whereas we were all on Bama. 0-1 on the island. The next visit to the island was me with Kentucky against Tennessee. 0-2 on the island. The next visit to the island, I stayed on it with Michigan against War Eagle. I lost that one. The island 0-3. Anthony, you went to the island with Purdue, and they didn't win, but they covered, and so the island's 1-3. Last week, I went to the island on the under and lost 1-4. Jackson went to the island on Houston and the points. That's 2-4. So the island is converting at 33% right now.
All right, I'm on the island now.
You're on the island, Riz.
All right, so make your picks wisely. Enjoy the game responsibly.
Tail Jackie Papers. He's 11-1.
This guy knows what he's talking about.
And you're going Florida and over.
Florida and over.
Or and over. There it is.
Yep.
All right, if you're to do one lock, I'm going Florida -1.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm for it all day.
I hate to do it, but that's how I feel as well.
I'm taking the under.
And you love the under.
I love the
lock.
under.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Love the under. Well, again, make your picks. We will be back later on this week breaking down
The Masters.
the Masters.
Yes, yes.
Hey, how about one time for Jackson?
Oh, thank you.
I mean, he
Thank you,
steps in and he just dunks on us.
Thank you, fellas.
I like it,
appreciate
though,
it.
honestly. He's brought credibility
Yeah.
to this podcast.
Gravitas.
Yeah, gravitas.
That's the thing, is the gravitas.
More importantly, he's brought dubs.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
Appreciate you, fellas.
Nice
It's been
job.
an absolute pleasure to sit with you.
Oh, my gosh.
Really
what a
has.
gentleman.
Yeah.
Pleasure's on this side.
Yeah, thanks for making us
all
funny.
the pleasure's all here. All here. All right, we'll be back later on this week with the Spread Zone.
We provide information about sports betting for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm gambling regulations in your state of residence. To participate in sports gaming, you must be 21 years of age or older and be physically present in a state where sports betting is legal. If you or someone you know has a sports betting or gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org for more information and further assistance.